Hello, so you've got your new Hub workbook. How do we get started on that? Save it to a folder. You might want to create a shortcut on your desktop so it's easy to crank open. So let's create a shortcut on the desktop there. There we go. So start that up from there. Just go through a bit of configuration to start with. You may actually get prompted to enable macros, to do the macro enable workbook. Just confirm that when you get prompted to do that. Now it'll start you on the control panel. There are also sheets for each term, and there are referral notes and family notes, and there will be also report tabs once we get data into the workbook. Now the control panel is information up the top here about the transfer of the data to and from the support agency. You have basic instructions and settings to make some configuration changes to suit your preferences. But let's go, we'll come back to these in detail at a later date. Let's go into a term sheet and have a look at these. We have in the term sheets the week commencing dates for the term, and then below that we have the activity information. Now on each sheet there are menus that are context sensitive to where you're at. So you get a different menu depending on which sheet you're on, and then even within the sheet depending on which row, which type of row you click on. One of the options here is collapse all headings, so we can go right back up to the top level here where we've got the program groups. We can also double click to expand and collapse a particular heading, and beneath the program groups we have activity types. So each of these has got activity types underneath, and these are where the activities go. If we try and expand this, there's nothing to expand to at the moment. There's no activities underneath this subheading, so it suggests we might want to add one. So let's confirm that. It will prompt us for a name. In this case, the name will default to the activity type, but we can change that. And it creates an activity for us with the boxes to take the various types of counts for that activity. So if we collapse and expand now, it doesn't prompt us because it's got an activity in there. But we can add further ones into here by right clicking. It needs to know which type. We don't get the add activity option at this level. You have to choose an activity type before we can add an activity, and there we go, we can add an activity again, and away we go. Volunteering and training is exactly the same, prompted for a name for the activity, and it creates an activity under there. Service referrals. We don't need to specify a name for service referrals, and the accounts are different structure there, participants and clients only. Demographic information, numbers of families. Again, we don't need to specify a title for that, and for these we can't add another activity either. Countries of origin, that's currently disabled. That maybe turn on a later date to capture countries of origin in a format suitable for upload to DSS, but at the moment we've got a different mechanism that I will show you later. When you're setting up the activities and setting up a term sheet with all the activities that you anticipate capturing counts for, do refer back to the categorization document and use that to guide your naming of the activities. With the names, it does have some restrictions. So it didn't like this name here as a default because it was it had this and sign there, ampersand, and it doesn't allow those, and also it's got a limit of 28 characters because of the need to load that information into the DSS database. So so just when you're naming the activities, you'll need to abbreviate them a little bit and take out all the slashes and signs and apostrophes, etc. So just letters and keep it nice and short. So that's basically it to setting up. Once you've got them all in there, you might want to print a hard copy to keep the counts on. Rather than just print this sheet as it is, there is a facility to make that easier. If you right click anywhere on this sheet, you'll get this option, produce a hard copy data entry form. So click on that and it will produce, it's produced one for term 1, produces a PDF file and gives you the option to open it. So let's open that straight away. This will open up into whatever software you've got set up to look at PDFs, and it will all be expanded, and it has a bit of depth in the rows for the numbers to go into. So you can print that from there. And as I said, you can go back and print that at any later stage. It's saved the file in the same folder that you saved the hub workbook into. So that's it for getting started. We'll come back later and dig in a little deeper. Thank you very much.